What's up, everyone? Travis here, 18 holes of misery, and we're back with another golf course today. Obviously, we're in the middle of November right now, not getting much golf in, if any at all. We just came back from North Carolina. We didn't get to play in North Carolina, but previous weeks to this, we had squeezed in about, I want to say, 4 courses. So I got 4 more videos left for the rest of the year, and then we're going to do some tutorials like how do we do these shot tracers. If you have any questions regarding cameras or thinking about actually starting a YouTube channel, comment down below if you have any question about how I make these videos, and I'll make a video detailing that, because there are a lot of people that want to get into making these types of videos. They just are a little overwhelmed or intimidated regarding equipment. So I'm going to start doing a little bit more of that in this off season. If you live in a place where you get to play all year round, I envy you. But regardless, we're gonna start doing some of that. So if you have any questions regarding some golf stuff or how we make these videos, comment below and we'll make those videos. But before I get into that, I want to talk about this hidden gem that I played thanks to a person who we got acquainted through YouTube, through Instagram, and he told me about this course right near my house in Halton, the Halton Hills area, and it is called Hornby Glen. So located right off of Steeles, in between Brampton and Milton. Hornby Glen sits on a massive lot, and it's a very nice course. Nothing spectacular, it's not going to win any awards, but it's a solid course that you can go to if you have nowhere else to go, associated with Golf North. So if you have that membership, you can access it. A lot of those courses are a little bit more out of the way, but this one was a pleasant surprise. I enjoyed it a lot. So it has 18 holes with a mix of tree-lined fairways and rolling terrain. It's definitely friendly for beginners, but does offer some challenges for experienced golfers to, sharpen up your short game or work on your putting. Definitely has a great variety of holes. So 100%, if you haven't played it, I would go check it out, because if you need somewhere to play, you're not trying to spend a massive amount of money, this is definitely the one that you should check out. So from the tips, it's playing just over 6,600 yards, and it was designed by Robert and David Moot, opened in 1967. If I pronounced your name wrong, I really apologize about that. Now for 18 holes, it was about $60 and then $20 for the cart, which the cart, oh God, that's steep to me, but regardless. And then there is a driving range. Well, there was a driving range. I don't know. There's no driving range. I lied. But it looks like there was a driving range. There was a spot there that looked like definitely there was a driving range there. But then they have a putting green, nice little pro shop, and a restaurant area. But enough of me talking. Let's get into this course. It's 18 holes. So sit back, buckle up, grab your popcorn. I suck at golf. Let's watch it together. All right, so we had a tee time, 7:30, and it was delayed due to frost. That's one thing that you gotta get used to playing in Canada. Massive lineup behind us though, so we missed the tee shot on this par 4, which played about 352 yards. Straightforward with 2 bunkers on each side, but yeah, nice little opening hole. So now we're looking at my second shot, and it wasn't great either. We chunked it, no warm up, nothing, pretty cold, so let's continue. Now we're on the third shot. We had about 100 to go, so I used the gap wedge, and we put it on the front of the green, so pretty happy with that. Now we got about 23 feet to go. Not an easy putt by any means, but we're able to get it pretty close, and to be honest, opening hole, I'm pretty happy with that. We tap in for our opening hole bogey. Hole number 2, par 5. First par 5 of the day, which playing 432 yards. Very straightforward, and the fairway is narrow, but there isn't much trouble around it, so it's pretty wide open. The green has 1 bunker, which is in the front left. So this is my first drive that was caught on camera, and it's decent. Just push it a little far right. Luckily, it's open over there though, so we found it pretty easily. Now, I wasn't trying to be cute by any means, so I just pulled out the 7-iron and I tried to get it up there and have a good look at the greens for my approach shot. Now, about 100 yards out, we use our 52 again, and we end up just being a couple feet short, but we're still putting at that point. Now we're on the fringe, and we have our putter in hand, and it's a little too safe. We end up leaving it about 6 feet short. And with the tester to go, It looks tough, but luckily it's pretty straight and we ended up sinking it for our first par of the day. Hole number 3 is a straight par 4 playing 368 yards. Not much trouble on this hole, and the green has some thick stuff in the back, so you just want to stay clear of that. Don't push it too far. Obviously, filming at sunrise or sunset always just ends up getting the shots way out of focus, so I'm sorry about that. Now we're off on the side, but we have a clear look at the green, so we use our 7-iron and we get it right up there, but we're just a little short and to the right of the dance floor. Now my bump and run is trash, and I should have did a different type of shot because there wasn't much green to work with. Needless to say, though, we got a lot of work to do for par. Now I got a 100-foot putt here, it looks like, but we're about 10 feet short, and then we end up missing that as well, so we have to settle for a sloppy double bogey. Hole number 4 is our first par 3 of the day, and it's playing around 146 yards. There's a pond on the right side, but as long as you can dial in your distance, you should be safe. Also, there are 2 bunkers on the back and the left of the green. Now, unfortunately, blue hour, the scene gets a little blurry, but we end up hitting a great shot, and we end up sticking it on the green.
Got a good bounce.
But still, we got about 18 feet to go here, and we do a decent job, I must say. We got it pretty close, and we're able to knock that in for another par on the day. Hole number 5, another par 4, slight dogleg right though, and it's playing about 378 yards. The fairway has a few trees and a bunker, and the green has 1 bunker in the front left, but pretty straightforward. But my tee shot was actually pretty straight. I just pushed it too much to the right, and unfortunately, we landed in the beach. So this is my first time in the sand trying to feel it out, and we're just trying to get it as far as we can, as close to the green as possible, but we barely got it out, and yeah, we're going into our 3rd shot. But that shot was great. It was great. We hit a beautiful shot, end up landing about 6 feet away from the hole with a good look, and we're trying to save par here. But the putt was terrible. The second I made contact, I just knew, you just know sometimes. I pushed it to the right, and then we tap in for a bogey. But we should have got par on that one. Now we have another par 5 on hole number 6. Super straight, and it's playing about 458 yards. The left has some real thick stuff, but other than that, it's pretty open, just like the rest of the course. And I gotta say, this was my best tee shot of the day so far. We hit it really good, and it was an awesome look on our 2nd shot. And you know, I tried to pull out the fairway wood or the hybrid. I don't know what I actually used here. We had about 200 yards to go, and we end up topping it. So now we're on my 3rd shot, and this shot was great. I really thought it was perfect, but I guess it didn't bite at all, and it ended up rolling past the green. So now we're putting from the rough, and it was downhill, so just definitely not an easy shot for a person like myself, but we did kind of put it close. And similar to the last hole, once I touched it, I just knew I was missing. I didn't feel good with the putter all day. We have to settle for another bogey. So now we got hole number 7. It's a heavy dog leg left. You want to try and hug that left side as much as you can, but the right side is definitely open and safe. Playing 314 yards, the green is pretty big, and there is 1 bunker to the left. So I tried my best to, you know, take my own advice, hug the line, but I hit a low hook right into that big tree, and luckily it was strong enough, it popped out. So yeah, it didn't give me a good look at the green, so just tried to put it out in the fairway. Now my 3rd shot was great. It was great, nice and high, rolled pretty close to give myself a good look at par. We had about 8 feet to go, but unfortunately, that's just too much for a player of my caliber. Like, literally, things that are decent, it's just too much for me, and I left it way short. And of course, to make matters worse, I missed that next putt, and what should have been a par ends up being a double bogey. Now the 8th is a par 3, and you gotta hit it over a pond, unfortunately. Playing 138 yards, and you have a bunker on both sides of the green, but that pond will definitely get in some people's heads. My tee shot was over the water, or actually, I don't even think it got over the water. I just hit it far right, and it ended up going into the sand. So now I got my beach wedge out, and it was a decent out, but we still got a long putt to go for par. So we got that big right to left putt, and luckily we have some good speed, and we lined it up decently, and we get it close enough, but we're just tapping in for another bogey. So the final hole of the front nine is a par 4 playing 337 yards. And as you can see, it looks like there was a driving range to the right, as I was mentioning, but there isn't anymore. And the green has a bunch of bunkers on each side. So my tee shot was awesome. We were really feeling that Ping G430 Max 10K today, and it was helping us out big time. Ping, you gotta make your name shorter. And obviously when I hit these great tee shots, this shit always happens. I gotta stop saying it, positive reinforcement, but we chunk it. And my third shot, we pretty much ended up putting it with the wedge, but it ends up really good. Like, I didn't mean to do that, but it was pretty decent. Not what I wanted to do, but so it left us with about 6 feet to go, and unfortunately we missed that by a little bit, and we have to tap in for a bogey to end the front nine. All right, so heading into the back nine, and the first hole is a par 5 playing 503 yards. Fairway is a bit uphill, but it's very straightforward with minimal traps. The green is pretty simple with one bunker to the right. Now my tee shot was a low stinger, but needless to say, it ran pretty far and ended up being a great tee shot. Not what I wanted, but hey, I'm not gonna complain. I pulled out the rescue for my second shot, and I cannot hit these things right now. It used to be my favorite club. I upgraded to the Ping, and I just can't hit it, but it goes far right, but at least it didn't go OB. Now we didn't have much further to go, but I just chose the wrong club, and we landed it short of the green. Now we're chipping for birdie, and we end up getting it pin high, but about 8 feet to go, and you already know that's kind of tough for me. But this putt attempt was much better, just a little strong, and we narrowly missed and have to tap in for a bogey. All right, hole number 11 is the first par 3 on the back nine, and it was a tricky one for myself. It was definitely my worst hole. You have a pond to the right of the green, and the left of the cart path is OB, so you really have to be accurate on this one. My tee shot was trash. Like, the line was completely off, and we landed it right to the left side of that cart path. So I went fishing around, and we didn't have a lot of green to work with for our second shot, and it just ended up being a foot or two too short, and we ended up in the bunker. And my bunker shot was trash, like just terrible. So we're spiraling now, just trying to get off this hole. We chip it pretty close, but I mean, the damage is already done, and we collect a double bogey. Could have been worse. Now we got another par 5. The back nine's layout is par 36, but isn't traditional par 36, playing 456 yards. It's really straightforward, and the green is large and has one bunker to the right. Again, we hit a great tee shot, and I didn't see where it went when I initially hit it, but that yellow ball that I found, I mean, it made it a lot easier to find the balls especially when the water was glistening just so brightly. I couldn't see the ball most of the day, but the yellow one definitely helped out. So I used the rescue next. I might have to retire these things, to be honest. And again, luckily, I know the neon balls are whack, but they were lighting up and they were easy to find. So from the rough, we hit a great shot. We landed on the green. Now we got a birdie putt, and it's a decent attempt. Isn't going to win any awards, but it put us in a position for par. But unfortunately, we pissed down our leg, and we leave it short for a bogey. Can't be triple putting. Now we got the second par 3 on the back nine, playing a whopping 213 yards, which is ridiculous. I do think the distance was wrong though, because I can't remember what my rangefinder was saying, but there is a bunker on the left of the green. So my tee shot was awesome. Maybe the best shot of the day, definitely the best shot of the day. Landed it perfectly. We had a real birdie attempt here. But unfortunately, we missed it to the right, as it didn't turn at all, but regardless, we settled for a par. Hole number 14 is a short par 4 playing 383 yards. It goes downhill as well, so you can really get it close for your approach shot. The green is large and has 2 bunkers on each side. So my drive was a great one. An absolute piss missile. Goes well past the fairway and lands in the rough just before the second fairway. And the approach shot looked like it was going to be wide left, but luckily we got a great bounce to the right and put me in a good position for a birdie attempt. And it was a good shot. I just didn't read the green properly, and we ended up tapping in for back-to-back pars, so I can't be mad. Hole number 15 is a par 4, which playing 362 yards, massive dogleg right. You can only hit a half swing if you're using the driver, but regardless, the green has 4 bunkers surrounding it. But yeah, nice hole. As I said, I tried to give less power on this driver, but it still went a bit far and we missed the fairway. We just pushed it. And my approach shot was supposed to be great, but it ended up being a little chunky. We ended up about 50 yards short of the green. We tried bump and run here, but that thick was a little too thick. She had that thing on her, and we didn't end up getting it to the green at all. And I was tired of my wedge at this point, so we pulled out the putter and roll it well past the hole, and still leaves us with a lot of work to do for bogey. And I don't really want to talk about it, but I leave it short and we settle for a double bogey. Now we got the final par 3 of the day, playing 154 yards. There's a big pond in between the tee box and the green, so you got to make sure you don't leave it short. And clearly the water is in my head because I push it so far right. I don't know how it didn't go OB, but yeah, I avoided the water completely and at least we're safe. So yeah, we played it safe there, but we end up sculling the ball and it flies well past the hole and off the green. So now we have another attempt and we hit a better chip here, but it didn't even have enough juice and ends up still being about 14 feet short. And again, this is my biggest nightmare, I think, because it's downhill and I rolled it well past the hole. And we still got about another tester for another double. And I think you already know what happened. We missed it and we have to settle for a triple. Just par 3s were killing me today. All right, hole 17, 383 yards. I feel like I've said that a lot. Par 4. There are a few bunkers in the fairway to the right, but other than that, it's pretty simple. The green is straightforward, 1 bunker on the front left. Again, I hit a great tee shot. I don't know why. I even thought that I drove the green, which I was way off. And it leaves us with an awesome look at the green for our second shot. But that second shot was chunky, and it just isn't what you want to do. Now our second shot is much better, but again, it's a bit left and we don't quite find the green. So now we're chipping again and it's a solid attempt. Leaves about 6 feet to go and we got 6 feet to go for bogey. As the story goes, we end up missing that to the right and we have to settle for another double. I don't know what I was seeing all day, but the reads for putts were way off. And finally, we finished 18 holes of misery with a par 5 playing 531 yards. There are a few bunkers in the fairway and the green has 1 bunker to the right. My tee shot was fine. I aimed to the right, and so we ended up pushing it a little bit too far right and out of the fairway. And my second shot, I ended up just not even pulling out the hybrid, even though that's the distance that I'd usually use it. Pulled out the 7-iron to get it a bit closer for our approach shot. And we hate to see it. We end up topping it on our 3rd shot and still got work to do to get onto the green. But the 4th shot was solid. Ended up pushing it too much and we missed the green to the far back right. And again, we didn't want to risk anything here, so we just putted as close as possible. But we still got about a 6-footer left to go. And usually I'm not too confident with these type of shots, but this time we continue with the struggles and have to tap in for another double bogey. Terrible way to finish the day. But as you can see, guys, the score, I felt I played much better than the score reflects, but there you have it. All right, guys, so as you can see, not my best round ever, maybe on camera actually, but definitely not my worst. I was pretty happy with the way I played, but then when I started tallying up all the scores, still ended up shooting like trash because I'm trash. I'm just a trash golfer, but hopefully I'm gonna start, incorporating a little bit more about how to make these videos, and this will be much more value for you because I know there's a lot of people out there that want to make these videos, and there's a lot of people out there that should be making these videos, but they just don't know how to. So if you're into that, if you want to start making some golf content rather that be for cell phone use, rather that be for critiquing your own swing, or if you want to try to build a little bit of a following, a little bit of a brand. This is where you need to be. Comment down below any type of question regarding filming, filmmaking, cell phones, cameras, mirrorless, DSLR, anything. I got all the information. I'll show you how I make all of these videos. Just comment down below. I need some direction of what you are looking for, and then I will make those videos for you guys. Hornby Glen, really pleasantly surprised with this course. I know we did have a frost delay in the beginning, which kind of slowed us down, but regardless, for late October or middle of October to be playing 18 holes of golf at 8 in the morning, it was pretty good. It was pretty good, and I would definitely see myself coming back here for the challenging holes and just great variety of golf. So definitely was happy with this course. Stay tuned as I have Piper's Heath, Bond Head, South Course, Glen Abbey, and maybe one more. I might try to squeeze one more in as it's the middle of November right now and the weather is decent, so I might try to squeeze in one more course and maybe Bray Bend. I don't know. We'll see. If not, stay tuned for those tutorials. Comment below what you'd like to see. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.